The following program is being funded by the Harmony Hill Performing Arts Foundation, protecting creativity throughout the Northeast and the world. Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, welcome to the Overall View, the program that lets you see from God's perspective the entire world and how God sees it all. Your hostess for this travel adventure is Josephine Russo, presenting for you the big picture. Because once you see the larger picture, everything else will seem smaller by comparison. May your troubles be few and your vision be large. And now, here's Josephine Russo.
My name is Caitlin Lawther, and I'm filling in for Josephine Russo. I know you can't tell, but there's a big snowstorm outside, and she's not able to get here. But as you know, an overall view deals with ordinary people who do extraordinary things. And I have a good friend of mine here. She has an amazing arts ministry, and right now she's currently raising awareness for human trafficking through it. So why don't I introduce you to her right now? This is Jill Cunningham. She's founder of Agapé Arts Company and also artistic director. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Hello everyone, and good evening, Caitlin. So today I just going to share a little bit about myself. I grew up right outside of Boston and have had a heart for arts ministry, particularly dance, for a long time now. I grew up going to the Vineyard Metro North Church in Saugus, and it's been a community that has really encouraged arts. So they have sort of been a stomping ground where I've been able to start my ministry. I went to school for education and dance performance studies, and after years of teaching, I realized that my heart really was more involved and had a greater passion for ministry. So recently, this past fall, I just founded Agapé Arts Company, and we're hoping to do big things in the near future.
Awesome. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Agapé Arts Company and how that originated?
Okay. So Agapé Arts Company is an integrated arts company that takes dance ministry, theater, music, and eventually media arts, and we have plans to take different presentations that bring about different issues or struggles that our society or just everyday people would deal with, and our hope is to bring these issues to life so that they're not ignored. And we just want to raise awareness and even funds for causes that often get overlooked, and in hopes for audience members to just have some type of hope or healing when they watch and can relate or identify with the same issues.
Awesome. So you just finished your first production, and it was called Every Captive Free. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us what that show was all about? What was the vision for that?
Of course. Every Captive Free was my first show, and it's a very special show because we got to partner with Amirah, Inc., which is an organization that is opening the very first safe home in New England for young women that have been human trafficked but have survived. And Amirah plans to give whole person care to these women, a place for them to feel safe, to feel loved, and to really go through healing process in every sense, physically, emotionally, spiritually, even to be prepared to go back out into the work world. So the purpose of our show, Every Captive Free, was to raise awareness for human trafficking that's not just going on within our world, but also in the U.S. and local cities through New England, which is amazing because I feel like typically we don't think of this as an epidemic that goes on in our backyards, right, but it actually is. So Amirah's been great to partner with, and the show has become a real life story. We actually, we have a wonderful narrator who is a survivor of human trafficking, and she's been so bold and brave and has been able to share her testimony throughout the whole entire show. And we've broken the show down into different sections where it starts out with her story, and then her pain, her prayer, her comfort, her hope, her healing, and then eventually her freedom. So we get to kind of bring the audience along on this journey, and they feel all different emotions through the entire show as they hear her testimony and see different dance presentations and music presentations and theater that really bring this story to life so that you feel like you're part of a victim's life. So it's been a really powerful show with a powerful message that has just opened people's eyes. And that's really our purpose at Agapé Arts Company, to open people's eyes to problems and issues that just you typically wouldn't see, or you might even ignore.
Overlooked.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, awesome. Well, why don't you share a little bit about the process leading up to the show and how that idea came to life for you?
So it started with a very small idea. Back in the fall, I knew that I wanted to put on some type of art show that was collaborative. I knew I did not just want it to be dance. Dance is my first form of expression through art, but it's not the only one. And I have a lot of artists that have been dear friends to me or in my life for a while now. And I just thought it would be really fun and great to get a bunch of artists together and sort of celebrate the gift that God's given each of us, but while doing that, to raise money and awareness for a certain cause. And as soon as the idea came to mind, I decided to pray over it, and it was instant. I just firmly felt like God said, human trafficking, like, these women, need your help. And from then on out, this show that was more just sort of an art show turned into a very intentional show that brought us through a storyline to get a message across to the audience. So we were no longer just raising money for a cause. We were telling a story and bringing awareness, and everything just gradually fell into place, and I barely had to look for music. I felt like God provided the music. He provided the cast and the people, and everyone, we were very unified. Everyone really worked together to make this happen. So from fall up until now, it just has become bigger than I ever imagined.
And I know you felt like the narrator telling her story was kind of the glue to that, and that was something that kind of came in the process for you too.
Absolutely. It was a dream come true to be able to have the narrator be part of the show, because initially we felt like we were missing a component. We had lots of different dances, lots of different music presentations, but there needed to be some type of storyline that made the audience feel more connected and more like this was real and not just something that was distant from them. So when the narrator came on board and agreed to not just tell a story, but her own personal story, it really tied everything together.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know it was such a powerful story that after the production, I had someone come and ask me if that was really her real story or not, because it's hard to really believe that happens to someone that you see right in front of you.
Yeah.
So now that the production is over, what do you feel like you accomplished through that?
I feel like we definitely have helped Amirah and people to realize that this is an organization that has a big heart and big plans for the near future. And we actually raised over $4,000 just within 2 shows, so that's a miracle.
Amazing.
Yeah, people just really rose to the occasion and were so generous, and hearts were really opened. And then also, as far as audience members go, I feel like people watching that might not have the same story, but a similar story, or that have endured pain from a different problem, realize that there was hope for them too. And that if someone, that this narrator that had such an intense story and had been through so much pain was able to find healing and freedom, then of course they could too. And just if you listen to her testimony, it is absolutely Christ-centered, and her story has so much redemption in it and so much just love and healing, and what was poured out onto her through other people was amazing. And I feel like it really helped show audience members that they can have the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And in speaking with you in the past, I know that you also felt like this wasn't just a story that showed healing for the people watching, but also the cast members and the people in it. I know that was an important part of it too for you.
Absolutely. I feel like the cast, we really, even though we have different giftings and many different personalities, many different talents, we all came together, and through listening to her story, we just realized, wow, this is bigger than any of us. And if she can go through something like this and come to a better place in life, then surely every one of us can. And because we had each other throughout the last few months working on the show, it opened up so many new friendships. And it just really helped us even have hope and healing in our own lives.
Awesome. Well, going back to your greater vision, where do you feel Agapé Arts Company will go in the future, and what's your ultimate vision for that? What are your goals?
Well, currently we had so much great feedback from Every Captive Free that it's very clear that we don't just want to stay local. We don't just want our shows to be a one-time thing and then on to the next. We've made a lot of different connections this past weekend from launching this show, and our hope is, right now with human trafficking and then in the future with other serious causes, that people will recognize what we're doing and see how beneficial it is and how it's helping other people, and that we'll be asked to go to other venues locally and hopefully nationwide. We really would love to travel this current show and future shows to help different organizations in any way that we can to heal people. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if people are interested in getting involved either with Agapé Arts Company or more with Amirah, how can they reach you?
So you can easily email me at agapeartscompany@gmail.com. Agape is spelled A-G-A-P-E. Agape actually means God's love for humanity, and then our reciprocal love for God, and it's meant to be like a pure, unconditional love. So that was why we picked that. agapeartscompany@gmail.com. Or if you want to reach Amirah, you can easily go on their website, which is www.amirahboston.org. And I believe their email contact and number is on there as well.
And are there specific ways that you're looking for people to get involved, or any direction that might be helpful to give them?
So right now, we are definitely looking for different venues and places and support to be able to bring our current show, Every Captive Free, to other places in the future. Because we had so much success in helping Amirah this past weekend, we want to just keep that flame going and alive. So if you know of a venue, or if you know of a pastor or a conference, or just someone that's interested in this specific topic or this show being brought to their theater, their church, their school. I know public schools, it might be hard to, do something spiritual based in, but if there's a Christian based school, we would love to bring our show or even snippets of our show to your venue. And we're always looking for more help as far as behind the scenes with advertising, tech, even artists. If you have a passion for dance or music, then feel free to contact me.
And even in this past production of yours, you had kind of an art gallery where people donated,
Yes.
Where that was another way for you to raise money for the cause as well.
Yes, we raised quite an amount of money. I feel like we raised at least $500 through our art display. We had local artists donate their artwork. We had a lot of photography, a lot of paintings, multimedia, collages. We even had a birdhouse, an original birdhouse, and a lot of the artwork sold, and we were able to take all of the sold artwork and the money that we made from it and donate it to Amirah.
Awesome. Well, it's been great speaking with you, Jill, today, and I'm so glad you were able to share some of your heart and your passions with the viewers today.
Thank you.
preceding program was funded by the Harmony Hill Performing Arts Foundation, serving and protecting creativity throughout the Northeast and the world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. I'm Nesser, and I'm here to talk to you today about human trafficking. There are about 27 million people in the world that are in bondage to slavery. And this is not a problem that is far off. It's local, right here at home, in our local cities, in our housing developments, in our businesses. Over 1 million are right here in the United States, in practically every city and town in America. So this issue is not an issue that's far away from us. It happens in every single community in America. We have about 1.6 million teenagers, runaway youths, that are endangered by human trafficking every single day. Sex trafficking is by far the largest percentage of human slavery in existence today. The whole structure of human trafficking is based on power and control. These are some of the ways in which people are trafficked today. There's street and online prostitution, residential, commercial front brothels, truck stops, businesses, farms, domestic work, peddling, begging, stripping, all these things going on all the time in practically every city and town. Now, how does that work? It works through intimidation, emotional abuse, isolation. There's the denying, blaming, and minimizing. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, using privilege, economic abuse, coercion, and threats. Let's take a look at each of these. Intimidation harms other victims, children, or pets, displays or uses weapons, destroys property, lies about police involvement in trafficking situations. Emotional abuse humiliates in front of others, calls names, plays mind games, makes a victim feel guilt or blame for a situation that they're not necessarily guilty for, convinces victims that they, the abuser, is the only one who cares about them. Isolation, keeps confined, accompanies to public places, creates distrust of police and or others, moves victims to different locations, doesn't allow victim to learn English or to go to school, denies access to children, family, and friends. Then there's the denying, blaming, and minimizing. They make light of abuse. They make light of exploitation. They deny that anything illegal or exploitive is occurring. Places blame on the victim for the trafficking situation. There's sexual abuse, which uses sexual assault as punishment or means of control. Forces victims to have sex multiple times a day with strangers. Treats a victim as an object for monetary gain. Normalizes sexual violence and selling sex. There's physical abuse. Shoves, slaps, hits, punches, kicks, strangles, burns, brands, tattoos. Denies food, denies water. Exposes to harmful chemicals. Forces pregnancy termination, induces drug addiction as a means of control. Using privilege, treats victim like a servant, uses gender, age, or nationality to suggest superiority, uses certain victims to control others, hides or destroys important documents. There's economic abuse, which creates debts that can never be repaid, takes away money earned, prohibits access to finances, and limits resources to a small allowance. Coercion and threats. Threatens to harm victim or family, threatens to expose or shame victim, threatens to report to police or investigation. These ideas were adapted from the Domestic Abuse Intervention Project's Duluth Model Power and Control Wheel, available at www.theduluthmodel.org. For further information, please contact the Polaris Project, P.O. Box 53315, Washington, D.C. 20009, or you can call at 202-745-1001. Their website is located at www.polarisproject.org, and you can contact them by email at info@polarisproject.org. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery, and it's happening right here in the United States. If you know or if you suspect anyone is involved in human trafficking, you can call a toll-free hotline number, completely confidential, 1-888-3737-888. That's 1-888-3737-888. That's the PolarisProject.org. If you want to mail them, email them at NHTRC, all capitals, at PolarisProject.org. Now, the number I gave you is toll-free. This number is toll-free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's confidential, and there are interpreters available for almost every language. Human trafficking can happen in many situations, including the commercial sex industry, street prostitution, strip clubs, massage parlors, escort services, brothels, and the internet. Factories, industrial, garment, meat packing, farms, landscaping or construction, peddling rings, begging rings, magazine crews, private homes, housekeepers, nannies, house cleaners, servile marriages. Some people get married just to have a slave around. You wouldn't believe it, but it's true. Restaurants, bars, and other service industries, nails, hair salons. So if you suspect human trafficking, you can call this hotline number, 1-888-3737-888. That's 1-888-3737-888. That's confidential. Interpreters are available. It's toll-free, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can email NHTRC at thepolarisproject.org. NHTRC at polarisproject.org. Thank you for taking the time to consider the needs of your fellow human beings. This world needs change, and change will only come from those who get involved. God bless you, and I wish you the very best. Whatever you do for another will always come back to bless you. God be with you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Lawther, and I'm here to bring light to the issue of human trafficking, which is a huge epidemic today. When most people hear of human trafficking, they think it's something that only goes on overseas, but in reality it's something that happens right in our backyard and in cities right near us and all around New England. Recently, I've become involved in a production called Every Captive Free, which was put on through Agapé Arts Company, and I've been working with the founder and artistic director of the company to raise awareness and funds for human trafficking. If you'd like to become involved, please email us at agapeartscompany@gmail.com.
Hi, my name is Jill Cunningham, and today I'm here to talk to you about a serious issue, human trafficking. Most people, when they hear about human trafficking, think that this is only an issue happening overseas, when actually it is happening in our backyards, right outside Boston, and in other cities around New England. Amirah Inc. is an organization that is opening the first whole-person safe house in New England to help survivors that have endured human trafficking. Every Captive Free is a recent production that Agapé Arts Company just launched this past weekend, and it is a show that is raising awareness and funds for Amirah Inc. This show has dance, live theater, a narrator who's an actual survivor, and music throughout the whole show, trying to help people connect and understand how serious this issue is around our area. If you are interested and want this show to be brought to a local church or venue around you, please email agapeartscompany@gmail.com to get involved. Thanks.
What are you trying to pronounce my name? Don't hurt yourself. Hi, I'm Christina Nikolakopoulos, here with Harmony Hill Presents. I'm going to be bringing you music videos from all over the world. Check your local listings for Harmony Hill Presents. You're going to love it.
I'm Kristen, and I'm here to tell you about Harmony Hill Presents. We are going to be showing you music videos from all over the world. Some are old, some are new, and some are yet to be discovered. Please check your local listings. I'm Kristen from Harmony Hill Presents.
Say something about the elderly. In our society today, people are working later and doing many more things. White hair, gray hair, your age doesn't make you elderly anymore. When you are elderly, it's when you're housebound, you can't go out anymore and do things. And if you're extremely disabled, even the disabled aren't disabled when they can get out and do things. But we deliver to the homebound, those who can't go anywhere, who kind of cut off from society. So we would love to have volunteers that would be willing to go visit some of these people and talk to them, because sometimes we're the only visit of the day. Sometimes families live far away, or they're estranged from families, or they don't have families. So if you ever want to volunteer to drive, to be a runner, or to visit the people, that would be great. As I said, you can contact us at our email, sjharvest@comcast.net, or 978-744-2532.